Today we are going to paint in our skin color. It doesn't have to be realistic. It can convey an emotion. You get to choose whatever color you want. So let's get going.
Hello, my talented artists.
If you like this content, subscribe. Make sure on the back of your paper you have your name, your secret code, and what memory or emotion you're trying to communicate to the viewer. Mine is happy to see you. Uh-oh. I just got something red on my picture. You know, friends, there's always obstacles. We just have to remember when we wake up every day, everything isn't going to go as planned. The first thing I want you to do is to erase any of the proportion lines that we drew at the beginning, like the circle, like that line going straight down. I'm going to leave the circle line that's in my hair because I did a good job doing a very sketchy line, and I don't think you'll see it too much. Gotta do the chin. Don't want that line there. The one going through the eyes. Let's pause for students to erase all of their proportion guidelines. Okay, now really what we're doing today is we are going to be doing some color mixing, which is part of color theory. You are going to decide what color you want your skin to be, and then you are going to mix it. And you're going to paint your skin, except for your lips, that color. When your skin color dries next week, we'll start to add shadows and, all the other colors, of course. So we're going to actually take our self-portrait sketch and kind of put it on top of the table folder a little bit away, or maybe even in the table folder. But even if it gets splattered, we'll fix it. It'll be okay. So what we're going to do is we are going to start mixing colors. I am going to try to aim for a skin tone, and I see that we have brown. So I am going to put some water on each color that I'm going to use. This activates the color. And I wanted to talk to you about complementary colors. On the color wheel, if you mix two complementary colors together, a complementary color pair, you will make a shade of brown. And that's what we're aiming for when we want a natural skin tone. It's a shade of brown. So we want to make sure we have enough watercolor paint of your special color, since we're not just using these straight colors. You are mixing a new color by combining two or more colors. So the important thing is to carry some water over to your little cup. Everyone is going to have their own little mixing cup because everybody's going to have their own color. And remember, you don't have to do skin tone. You could choose a color that you feel will best convey your emotion. So to activate your watercolors, you just mix and mix and mix and mix and mix and mix and mix. And you're carrying the pigment over to your water here. That is a very purpley brown. Now, this is where color theory really helps you. If you have a color that is too purpley and you want it to be more brown, then you look across from purple, the complementary color of purple, and you will add that color. What is the complement of purple? That's right, yellow. Let's see what we can do here. Oh yeah, it's already changing. Now, the only way to truly know what the color will look like on paper is to paint it on paper. So we're gonna have a tester paper, and we are gonna actually make rectangles of color. So what I want you to do is start at the top and go down and see how light it is, because I had all that water in there. So that's one rectangle, and I can see what color it is. I think I need a little more red in there. I want to warm it up a little bit. I'm going to change that color by adding red. And, woof, I almost spilled. Now I'm going to paint this color. And it is a little different shade of brown. Yep, it is a warmer shade of brown. Well, after 2 times, I think I've made the color I like, but I want to keep going just to show you the process. So let's add a little more yellow. Don't forget to use the color wheel to help you mix your colors. If your color is too green, what color would you add? That's right, red, because opposite green is red. So that's how I want you to begin to use color theory to mix your colors. Each time you mix a new color, be sure to paint it on your test paper so you know what color you've mixed. And always make sure to get help if you're starting to feel a little overwhelmed, because you're just beginning to learn color theory. I'm glad I kept mixing because my color really needed to be darker. I'm going to put my tester into the drying rack. Make sure your name is on it. And I'm ready to start painting right on top of my self-portrait. Remember, we're not going into the hair. We are painting only the skin tone. We have to be very careful. We're not painting over the lips, and we're not painting inside the eye. My color is a little dark, so I'm going to start by really carefully painting just water onto the top of the forehead. And I don't want to paint the hair, so I have to go around my hair very carefully. This is a time to really focus. I'm going to wet my paper down to the tops of the eyes. Be very careful not to paint on top of your whites of your eyes or your irises or your pupils, because those are a completely different color than skin color. But if you make a mistake, don't worry. Come to me, I'm a great artistic fixer of problems. So now I'm going to dip my brush into my watercolor paint, press it, and I'm going to start at the top. Trust in the process. If you start to worry about the color, just go with it. Don't worry. Let it dry. See how it turns out. We can always adjust it. I am going to wash my brush a little bit and just sort of pull that color down so I have a light color. Once you've started with a color, just keep going. Even if you think that you want to adjust it later, it's very important. Don't stop and let it dry. While the color is wet, you want to make sure that you are bringing that color all the way down the face. And to remove some of the pigment at the top, you can just go over it with a clean brush and it will pull up some of the pigment. That's good. A wet brush, a washed brush, will pull some of that pigment off. But I don't want to stop painting because we don't want the watercolor to dry, because it will make a line, a dark line. The lightest part of your face are the cheeks and right down the nose there. Underneath the cheeks is a little bit of a darker area, as you can see. Going around the lips with water. Also, this part is a highlight too, the chin. And you see this part, we don't want that to dry. So I'm going to wash my brush, and using a clean wet brush, I'm just going to pull that pigment across the face so that that part isn't so dark. I can see I made a little line here. I wasn't careful with that, so I'm going to go over that. And it really smooths it out if you just use a clean wet brush. paint all the skin in your self-portrait with the color that you have mixed. And that is our goal today, folks, to get that skin color onto the self-portrait. Okay, it's your turn.